Top 3 superfoods that destroy inflammation naturally, backed by science. If you've been waking up with stiff joints, battling constant fatigue, or just feeling like your body's always inflamed and out of balance, this video is for you. Because today, we're diving into the top 3 superfoods that don't just taste amazing, they actually help your body fight inflammation at its root. You see, chronic inflammation is behind so many of the issues we deal with: joint pain, low energy, even brain fog. But here's the good news. The right foods can help turn things around naturally. And these aren't some rare ingredients you'll never find at the store. These are powerful, proven, everyday superfoods that you can start using today to feel better, more flexible, more energized, and more alive. So grab a comfy seat and let's walk through the 3 best inflammation-fighting foods that your body will absolutely thank you for. Number 1. Turmeric with curcumin. Let's talk about something. Not gold you wear, but gold you eat. I'm talking about turmeric, and more specifically, curcumin, the powerful compound inside it that's been called nature's anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Now, if you've been struggling with joint pain, stiff knees in the morning, or that nagging ache in your back that just won't quit, turmeric might just become your new best friend. And no, this isn't some hyped-up superfood trend. This golden spice has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, especially in India and throughout Asia, not just for flavor, but for healing. So what makes turmeric so special? It's the curcumin. That's the star of the show. Curcumin is a natural anti-inflammatory compound, and it works by blocking molecules in your body that trigger inflammation, particularly something called NF-κB. You don't need to remember that name, but just know this. When NF-κB is active, your body is on fire with inflammation. Curcumin helps cool that fire down, naturally. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Curcumin doesn't just help with surface-level aches, it goes deep. It's been shown to reduce symptoms in people with arthritis, improve joint mobility, and even ease muscle soreness after a workout. And if you've ever woken up with stiff fingers or knees that feel like rusty hinges, you know how life-changing that can be. But, and this is important, turmeric by itself doesn't have much curcumin. In fact, curcumin only makes up about 3% of turmeric by weight. So, if you want those anti-inflammatory benefits, you've got 2 options. 1, you can use a turmeric extract that's concentrated in curcumin. Or 2, just make sure you combine turmeric with black pepper. Why? Because black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which boosts the absorption of curcumin in your bloodstream by up to 2,000%. Yes, 2,000. That's not a typo. So, next time you're sprinkling turmeric into your soup, your smoothie, or your golden milk latte, don't forget the pepper. Just a pinch is enough. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how much should I actually take? Great question. For general wellness, adding about half to 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder daily to your food can be a great start. But if you're dealing with more intense inflammation, like arthritis, chronic joint pain, or even autoimmune issues, you might want to consider a curcumin supplement, usually in the range of 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day, preferably one that also contains piperine, or is labeled as bioavailable. And let me tell you, many people start to feel a difference in as little as a few weeks. They feel less stiff in the mornings. Their knees don't protest as loudly when climbing stairs, and there's a general sense that their body is calmer. Not numb, not drugged, just calm, natural. And here's something you might not expect. Curcumin doesn't just work on joints. It's also been studied for brain inflammation, heart, even gut issues. Because chronic inflammation is at the root of so many modern health problems. When you target it naturally, your whole body thanks you. But here's the key. You've got to be consistent. One turmeric tea won't erase years of inflammation, But small steps, daily habits, they add up. So whether you stir turmeric into your breakfast scramble, blend it into your smoothie, or sip on warm, golden milk before bed, you're not just adding flavor, you're fueling healing. And I want to leave you with this. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight to feel better. Sometimes it starts with a simple yellow spice in your kitchen. That's the power of turmeric. That's the magic of nature, working with your body, not against it. So go ahead, open that spice jar, and let your journey to less pain, more movement, and more vitality begin, one golden spoonful at a time. Number 2, blueberries. Let's talk about one of the tastiest, easiest, and most powerful ways to fight inflammation. Blueberries. Yep, those little blue gems you can toss into a smoothie, sprinkle on yogurt, or just snack on by the handful. They're not just delicious, they're little warriors in your battle against inflammation. Now, I know when we talk about superfoods, we often think of exotic powders or expensive supplements. But blueberries? They're accessible, affordable, and packed with health-boosting benefits, especially when it comes to calming inflammation. So, what makes them so special? The secret lies in their color. That deep blue-purple hue isn't just pretty. It comes from powerful compounds called anthocyanins. These are antioxidants, and they play a huge role in fighting oxidative stress in your body, which is a major trigger for chronic inflammation. Here's what that means in simple terms. Your body is constantly under attack from things like stress, pollution, processed foods, and even natural aging. All of this creates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your cells. When you have too many of them, your body responds with, you guessed it, inflammation. That's where blueberries come in. Anthocyanins in blueberries help neutralize those free radicals, keeping inflammation levels down. They're like a fire extinguisher for your cells. But that's not all. Blueberries have been shown to directly lower inflammatory markers in the blood. Things like CRP, C-reactive protein, which doctors use to measure inflammation levels. In several studies, people who added blueberries to their diet saw significant reductions in CRP, and that's huge for anyone dealing with arthritis, joint pain, or chronic fatigue. And let's talk about the brain for a second, because chronic inflammation isn't just about your knees or your back. It affects your brain health too. Inflammation in the brain is linked to memory problems, mood swings, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Blueberries have been called brain berries for a reason. Regular consumption has been shown to improve memory, focus, and cognitive performance, especially in older adults. Why? Because those same antioxidants that calm inflammation also protect brain cells and help improve communication between neurons. Now here's something really exciting. Blueberries also support your gut health, and your gut plays a central role in regulating inflammation. The fiber and polyphenols in blueberries help feed the good bacteria in your gut, your microbiome, which in turn strengthens your immune system and reduces whole-body inflammation. Think about that. With just a cup of blueberries a day, you're supporting your brain, your joints, your heart, and your gut all at once. So how can you get more blueberries into your day? Honestly, it's super easy. Toss them in your morning oatmeal. Blend them into a smoothie with some spinach and almond. Sprinkle them over Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey. Or just snack on a bowl of them after dinner. Fresh, frozen, even dried, you've got options. Frozen blueberries are just as nutritious as fresh, and they're often more affordable. Plus, they last longer, so you can always have them on hand. And if you're wondering how much you need, aim for at least half a cup per day. That's enough to make a real impact over time. Now, let me say this. The magic of blueberries isn't just in the nutrients, It's in the consistency. You don't need to eat a bucket of them in one sitting. You just need to build the habit, little by little, day by day. And here's something I love about blueberries. Unlike some anti-inflammatory foods that you might have to force yourself to eat, blueberries are a joy. They're sweet, refreshing, and feel like a treat, so it doesn't feel like a chore. So if you're dealing with joint pain, brain fog, or even just fatigue that won't go away, don't underestimate the power of something so simple. Blueberries aren't a quick fix, but they are a steady, natural way to help your body heal and thrive. Just imagine starting your day with a burst of flavor that also fights inflammation at the cellular level. That's not just breakfast, that's medicine disguised as a snack. And that's the beauty of food. It can be joyful and powerful. So next time you see those little blue beauties at the store, grab an extra pack. Your joints, your brain, and your entire body will thank you. Number 3, fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Let's have a heart-to-heart about fish. Not just any fish. I'm talking about fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. If you're looking for a superfood that fights inflammation from head to toe, fatty fish might just be your secret weapon. Now, I know not everyone grew up eating fish. Maybe the smell turns you off, or you just never developed a taste for it. But stay with me, because what's packed into these types of fish could seriously transform your health, especially if you're dealing with chronic inflammation, joint pain, or autoimmune conditions. So what's the magic inside fatty fish? It all comes down to omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. These are long-chain omega-3s, and they're incredibly powerful when it comes to reducing inflammation at the root. You see, your body is constantly trying to maintain balance. And when you're overloaded with processed foods, stress, toxins, and even aging, that balance gets tipped, and inflammation takes over. Your joints get stiff, your back starts to ache, your skin might flare up, and your mood can dip. Omega-3s help tip the scale back in your favor. They block the production of inflammatory molecules, like cytokines and prostaglandins. They also reduce levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, which is one of the key markers doctors use to measure inflammation in your body. In simple terms, omega-3s are like peacekeepers in your body. They calm the internal storm and help you feel more like yourself again. And the results are real. People who add fatty fish to their diet regularly often report less morning stiffness in their joints, reduced swelling and pain, better mobility, clearer skin, and even improvements in mood and mental clarity. Yes, omega-3s also support brain health. In fact, your brain is made up of about 60% fat, and DHA is one of the most critical fats it needs to function. Studies have shown that omega-3s can help with depression, brain fog, and even slow cognitive decline. But here's something you might not know. Fatty fish also support gut health, which is a cornerstone of inflammation control. A healthier gut microbiome means a stronger immune response and less chronic inflammation throughout your body. So how do you start getting more of this anti-inflammatory gold into your life? Aim to eat at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. One serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of the palm of your hand. And when it comes to choosing the best fish, here are 3 of the most potent options. Salmon. Wild-caught salmon is one of the richest sources of omega-3s. It's also high in protein and a great source of vitamin D, which also plays a role in reducing inflammation. Sardines. These tiny fish are often overlooked, but they pack a huge punch. Sardines are loaded with EPA and DHA, and because they're low on the food chain, they contain very low levels of mercury. Bonus, they're also rich in calcium and vitamin B12. Mackerel. This one's a bit bolder in flavor, but it's worth exploring. Mackerel is super rich in omega-3s and also provides selenium and CoQ10, two more anti-inflammatory allies. You can grill them, bake them, toss them on salads, or mix them into grain bowls. Sardines even come canned, ready to eat, no cooking required. And if you're someone who really can't stand fish, don't worry. You can still get those anti-inflammatory benefits from a high-quality fish oil supplement. Just make sure you're choosing one that's molecularly distilled, tested for purity, and provides at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per serving. Here's a little tip. Take fish oil with a meal that has fat in it. That helps your body absorb it better. Now, let's talk results. Unlike over-the-counter pain meds that only mask symptoms, omega-3s nourish your body from the inside out. It may take a few weeks to notice changes, but when you do, it's not just relief, it's a whole new level of well-being. You might notice your hands don't hurt when you wake up, that your knees don't complain every time you climb stairs, or even that your mood feels a little brighter, your thoughts a little clearer. Because inflammation doesn't just make you feel sore, it wears you down mentally too. And when you calm that fire with real food, the difference is life-changing. So if you're serious about healing inflammation, not just masking it, fatty fish belong in your weekly routine. This isn't about perfection. You don't have to be a gourmet chef or eat salmon every night. It's about progress, about choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. And fatty fish? They're one of nature's most powerful tools in that journey. So next time you plan your meals, ask yourself, what can I eat that will nourish my joints, my brain, my whole body? The answer might just be on a bed of greens, seared on a pan, or waiting in a can. Because sometimes healing begins with something as simple and as powerful as a piece of fish. Summary. So let's take a moment to recap. We started with turmeric, the golden healer, packed with curcumin, nature's own anti-inflammatory compound. Just a sprinkle a day, especially when paired with black pepper, can work wonders for your joints, your gut, and even your brain. Then we explored the tiny but mighty blueberries, rich in anthocyanins that fight oxidative stress, calm inflammation, and support everything from heart health to memory and focus. And finally, we dove into fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, loaded with omega-3s that not only soothe inflammation, but also nourish your mind, your joints, and your immune system from the inside out. These aren't trends or fads. These are time-tested, research-backed foods that your body recognizes, craves, and thrives on. Remember, small, consistent changes make the biggest impact over time. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just start by adding one of these foods into your daily or weekly routine and build from there. Because the truth is, your body wants to heal. It wants to feel good again. You just have to give it the right tools, and these superfoods are a powerful place to start. If this video helped you, inspired you, or made you think differently about your health, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little natural support in their journey too. And if you want more tips, natural remedies, and motivational wellness content just like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your health is your power, and every bite you take is a step toward the vibrant, energized, pain-free life you deserve. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.